Welcome back, everybody. It's Wednesday, which means we get to visit with our friend Michael Babcock at TMZ to get the scoop on today's hottest stories. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly and Jeremy. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
I gotta say, though, I like the scoop we get during the commercials.
Yeah.
We love chatting with Michael.
Real juicy stuff.
Yeah.
We ran out of time. We ran out of time to get.
We're gonna have to message you later, Michael, for more details on that. Okay?
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay.
Michael, was there a possibility of reforming Britney Spears? I mean, some people tried. Her dad, or who tried to shape her up?
In the early days of this conservatorship that we now know has been going on for 13 years, but in the early days, her father, Jamie Spears, who had become a born-again Christian after a stint in rehab, kind of goes to rehab, has this life-changing experience, comes out born again. He had met some folks that he was friends with, and these guys, a guy by the name of Lou Taylor, who Jamie Spears thought was a brilliant man, they started this management company called TriStar Management. So this guy, Lou Taylor, was also a very religious person. So you have Jamie Spears now, and you have this guy, Lou Taylor, who is very religious. Now, Jamie appointed this new management company, TriStar, with taking care of the day-to-day responsibilities for Britney Spears. And on the ground during that first year, especially of the conservatorship, they really tried to change Britney using religion. They would not allow her to read anything that wasn't, of some sort of, religious material, whether it be the Bible or something else. If she wasn't being, quote unquote, a good Christian, there would be some price to pay, and they really tried to quote unquote fix her, despite a doctor saying that she had a mental illness with religion, and it was a product of the people that she was around. But that's what the very early days, we're talking like 2008, 2009, of this conservatorship looked like. Wasn't seeing doctors and trying to help Britney that way. It was, hey, read the Bible and that'll heal you. And that's how it went until it ultimately became more about profits and more about getting Britney Spears to perform and to make new music, because that's how the money was then rolling in. But originally they did try and
Michael, curious though, you said to heal her. What were they healing her from? Like what?
I mean, look, Jeremy, the reason, there's a reason that conservatorship was put in place to begin with. Britney saw a doctor in the late 2000s, and the doctor diagnosed her with a mental illness, and that's what it's about.
So I gotcha.
Right, and that's why the conservatorship ever existed anyway, because she did, she was battling something mentally, and I think some people might say, take her to doctors, try and get her some therapy and heal her that way. But that's not the method that they took, certainly not in the beginning, in the 2008, 2009 period of time.
When you think about any of those childhood stars, really, I mean, like Michael Jackson or any of those, you think about it, they start so early becoming and being pushed to be these performers that so much happens in their life. You would think it would warp them in some way that would be hard to undo.
Yeah. And I think, if anyone would know that about being a child star, it was Britney Spears. I mean, it was she was about as big as it got. She was absolutely a humongous star at a young age. And right, we've seen it time and time again. So, it's not a fluke. It's not it's not a one-off. We've seen child stars have problems. And she was one of the biggest child stars. And I think it definitely there were some ramifications down the line.
Right.
And,
hey, Michael, I was randomly talking to a friend about Britney this week, as I do. Talk about Britney every day of my life. Of course. And the friend asked me this question. I didn't know the answer. They said, Britney's not performing. She said she wouldn't perform till Jamie was removed as a conservator. They were like, does she have enough money where she could live the rest of her life and not have to perform again? Do you think that's financially possible?
Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, you talk to people and they say she has somewhere around $60 million in the bank. So certainly, I guess depending on how extravagantly she decided to live. But yeah, if she wanted to never perform again, I think that Britney Spears has more than the means to make that happen. I mean, she's only 39 years old right now. And we did a story earlier in the week, Jeremy, and we talked to people who know how Britney's thinking and what she, what she's thinking when it it comes to performing, and they say she is not even considering performing right now, not even on her mind. No tours, no new music. She feels like she wants to try and heal from some of the trauma that she has gone through with her father over the years, and performing is just not on the agenda right now. Hopefully, at least for her fans' sake, hopefully one day she decides she does want to get back out there and make new music.
Could you imagine that, Kelly?
Right now,
Could you imagine a comeback concert? She would bank.
Yes, she would. Or she could just write a book.
Yeah, right. Which would be, can you imagine? That would be, they talk about juicy details.
Yeah, I would read that book.
Yeah, there you go.
There's been a lot has happened
Jeremy.
over the years.
Yes. Okay. All right, Michael, what else do you have?
Well, so I think we've talked about this before. So Kelly Clarkson and her ex, a guy by the name of Brandon Blackstock, they were married, and then it ended, and it ended pretty ugly. They have been fighting tooth and nail in court over a prenuptial agreement. So Kelly Clarkson said, Brandon, you signed the prenup. That's what should dictate the terms of our divorce now. He says, no, the prenup, not valid. And there were some things that I want that we kind of shared as we were married. And one of those things being this really nice Montana ranch that he has actually been living in. So yesterday, Brandon lands in L.A., and there is a cameraman at the airport. And when he sees Brandon, he asks him, I should say, too, by the way, the judge has ruled that the prenup is good and that the house, the Montana ranch, is Kelly Clarkson's, so not Brandon's, and he's eventually going to have to move. So this cameraman sees Brandon at the airport and asks him, hey, Brandon, it's kind of a bummer that the judge ruled against you. And I don't know if he's in denial or is not paying attention to his own court cases here, but he said that the judge hadn't ruled on the Montana ranch. But that is very much not true. The judge certainly did, and the judge said the prenup is good. The Montana ranch is Kelly's. It's not yours, Brandon. So I don't know if it's denial or not paying attention, but yeah, he said the judge hadn't made the decision yet, but I can assure you the judge has.
He gonna get kicked out.
Oh. Yeah, I know. I think he really doesn't want to leave.
Well, that's what it sounds like.
There's an eviction notice waiting for him on that door when he gets back.
You should have thought about that. I'm just saying.
Those locks have been changed.
Right, exactly.
Oh, my gosh. And you know what's so crazy, too, is Kelly Clarkson just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger in popularity, monetarily. Her fame is growing. She's doing a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sad that she couldn't, the marriage couldn't work out. I don't even know what the details are, why they got divorced.
I don't know.
But, she keeps rolling in that bank. She's making it.
She is. She is.
And
I remember reading, Jeremy, in the divorce documents, he doesn't make a bad income by any stretch, but she was bringing in millions and millions of dollars a month, and that's what she said in these divorce documents. So, she was making a lot of money. She was doing really well for herself, and she was bringing in a lot more money than he was, as you'd expect.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, Michael, we love you. We look forward to you every Wednesday.
This was great.
I'm gonna
talk to you guys later about.
Okay.
Yes, I'm messaging you after the show, Michael.
Thanks, Kelly and Jeremy.
We'll see you next week.
Bye. I'll see you next week.
All right. Coming up, I have a rave review for you.
Yeah, you
if
do.
If you're ready for it.
If you're ready.
I don't know. If you're ready, come and get it. Na 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 na. Selena Gomez.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another song. Oh, I love.